And we are live. Hello, everyone, and welcome. Welcome to the Tuesday night live show. I am here again. I am back. Last week, our friend Sam, covered for me. It was the night before my anniversary, me and my wife's 20th anniversary. So I had asked Lisa for the night off. Me and my wife were off on Tuesday last week because it was Mardi Gras. It was Mardi Gras Day, so we were off of work and we were at home together. And the next day was our anniversary. So I asked Lisa if she'd mind if I sat out, and Lisa happily obliged. And
You got
so,
some good family time in, and
yeah,
great time. It was your 20th anniversary, so happy anniversary! And I know I said it last week, but I don't know whether or not you were there.
thank you so much. I appreciate it. I did pop in and say hello and chatted a little bit until I got the evil eye from Kim, and then
yeah.
but I saw you and Sam put on a good show. So welcome again, everybody that's coming in. Hey, Bradley Crawford, thanks for joining. Come on in. Welcome everybody that's coming in. If you don't mind, while you're joining and waiting for us to get the show started, please share the show and share in any Disney groups you may be in, along with your own personal pages. And I see Morgan's there. Thank you, Bradley. Appreciate that. Hello, Scott Price. Thanks for joining. Come on in.
All right.
And Hello, Rachel. Just
Hey, Rachel.
Rachel a little while ago on the phone. She told me she'd be joining us tonight.
All right. Let's roll right down on Bradley.
Jessica, hello. Lindsay, Michael, Bill, Chris Reckline.
Holy cow! I haven't seen that name in a long time. Chris Reckline.
Yep. Glad you all could join. Come on in. If you don't mind, share the show. That's what we're doing. We're going to share the show real quick.
Yes. Thank you. I think I still have the makeup on my face. That's how long it took me to get it off.
It was great though. They did a really good job.
Yeah, they definitely did a good job. It was tough to get that off though. Not without a fraction of a doubt. It was a blast to do, but boy,
I mean, I guess that would be the better of the two situations. If you're going into that, to not have something that's going to get all over your clothes accidentally, and yeah, so I get it.
It's great to have you back. Hey, from Manitoba, Canada.
Wow.
I'm glad somebody did. It hurt. Beauty is pain, as they say.
It was awesome, though. It really was. I thought they did a good job. I thought it was cool.
Rudy, Small World is. Fight me on it.
Y'all are both wrong.
We are not wrong. I'm telling you right now, I will voice the unpopular opinion. Rides I love to hate, I can't stand It's a Small World. Hate it.
Tisk. So that is one of the topics we're going to talk about tonight. Hey, Jeffrey, I'm not sure.
It just came in, Jeffrey. We'll address it afterwards.
There you go.
I just saw it.
I was about to say I don't think I've seen a DM from Jeffrey, but we will take a peek at it when we're done here. Yes, Bill, you can definitely be you're going to be our go every once in a while correspondent for the Disney Nerds podcast, and you'll be the official limoncello taster. Every now and then they swap the brands out in Italy, and when you go, I will want you to taste those and let us know when which ones are better than others. Christine, you getting some supporters there, Lisa.
I am. You know what? Ed's right though. I'll tell you, I did like the Disneyland version.
But did you like it because it's different and you just wrote it once?
I wrote it twice.
Oh,
I
but
liked
still,
it because it was tied in.
if Disneyland was your home park, though, do you think you would eventually get the same kind of feeling about it?
No.
Because
I've
the
hated
song
It's
is
a
the
Small
same.
World since the beginning. One of the things that I like about the one in Disneyland is that it at least ties in Disney characters.
I like that too. I don't have an issue. A lot of traditionalists had a big issue with them doing that and didn't want them to do that in Walt Disney World, but I would be fine with it. I think they did it. And look, I've never, disclosure, I have never been to Disneyland, but I have seen the the pictures of the way the characters are incorporated. And I think it's done very tastefully, and it still fits the attraction.
Oh,
Uh,
it's fantastic.
Thank you, Joe D. Build. Eventually, I'm gonna have to get to Disneyland. Maybe I guess it's probably gonna be next year. I think I may do a January trip to Disneyland instead of my annual pilgrimage to the Festival of the Arts.
Hey, hell you to Michelle.
Y'all are not late at all. Y'all are just in. We just really started.
I wanted to take care of two pieces of business. I know I talked last week. So Heather Watley had won the prize last week. I said I would get that mailed out. I was actually on the phone with Jimmy today when it dawned on me that I had left my house without her prize pack, and I didn't get a chance to get back to the post office before it closed. I will get that out tomorrow. And then the other thing, and this impacts some people that are certainly close to us, but our thoughts and prayers go out to the people in Nashville. We do have a blog writer for us who that tornado went right through her town.
Yep.
She is okay, but she is without power and water, and they're concerned about being low on food. So, but she has been in contact with us, and she is okay. But certainly some scary things. Mother Nature wreaked its wrath on the Nashville area, and we do have some Disney Nerds family there that we wanted to make mention about.
Absolutely. Yep. And she's still in good spirit, and that's good to see. And but that's a frustrating, and look, being in Louisiana and dealing with hurricanes, and I know it's not the same exact thing, but her house did not get hit, so her house is intact. She's just without power. So done that quite a few times without power and no AC, and at least the weather's fine, not too bad. Because that's
she did say that. She said the weather's been mild at the very least, the temperature, so it's not
miserable in the house with no AC, right?
Right.
So that's one of the things we wanted to talk about tonight is Rod, you love to hate. Lisa obviously loves to hate It's a Small World.
I can't stand
and I know Rudy hates Carousel of Progress. So in the comments, you tell us what ride you love to hate. I'll be honest with you, I don't have one.
You don't have a ride that you hate. You like the
Astro Orbiter?
You want it all the time?
The what?
The Astro Orbiter.
I like the Astro Orbiter.
Did? Oh, I don't like that one either.
Swiss Family Treehouse?
No, I like it. I like the pace of it. It's slow, it's nice, it's but the views from the top are gorgeous.
Yeah. I'll tell you, it's definitely. I wrote it with Henry. I wrote it with Henry, who was two at the time.
Yeah.
I wrote it with Caitlin Thiel. And I think I wrote it once with Caitlin, my daughter Caitlin. But every time I've ridden it recently, for sure the past 3 times I've ridden it has been with somebody else with me in the car. I'm with Ed. There's none that I can think of that I really just dislike. Winnie the Pooh. I love Winnie the Pooh. Lumps and woozles.
I'm gonna be the odd one. You don't like Space Mountain. I'm all right with that. Ooh, you don't like Winnie the Pooh? Another Space Mountain, a Splash Mountain. Wow.
Tina, you don't like Splash Mountain?
Hold
That's
on. Because if I go back to, I think Tina said, maybe I'm wrong, maybe this was somebody else, but if I go back in the comments, I believe Tina said that she is not the Disneyland is her home park. And if you were to ask me to choose between Disneyland or the Disney World version, because they're different, I would say I don't necessarily care for Splash Mountain at Disneyland either.
interesting. Is it the seating configuration?
It's the seating configuration, and I got soaked. Like,
I've been with you when you initially got soaked in Walt Disney World too.
I think we defied the Disney laws of physics at one point, and probably had a little too much weight in the front of the boat, and we went under.
Yeah, it came right over the bow of the boat. Oh, Mission to Mars. You must be talking about Mission Space.
Oh, I don't know whether or not. Yeah,
I like Mission to Space. I don't know how many times in a row I could do it, but I like the ride.
There's another one. I don't like the teacups either. I'm with Ed. That's a spinning thing, though. Have you always hated them, or is this new because you're old? I mean, new because you're old. I was right the first time.
Because you're old.
Is it new because you're old? I don't like the fact that the teacups, it's a workout in order to keep it from spinning.
But so, I mean, I know. So, do you think you necessarily love to hate Small World, or you just don't care for it? I know we've kind of made it a thing at this point because I tease you about it, and you feel like you need to defend your position. But do you love to hate it, or
do I enjoy not liking it?
Correct.
I do enjoy not liking it.
Rudy really enjoys not liking Carousel of Progress
because I think Rudy and I are in the same boat here. I do enjoy not liking it. I enjoy not liking it because
it riles me up.
You're not the only one it riles up. Everybody gets so upset with me when I say I can't stand It's a Small World. Listen to me. And I said this earlier to Jimmy. We were on the phone. I love the Sherman Brothers, but their songs are all of them. The ones I wrote for Disney, the ones I wrote for not for Disney, they're all earworms. And that's what I don't like about it, is that you get to the end of that attraction and then now you're bumping into the boat in front of you and you're, waiting for the belt to pick you up and bring you up to get off. But you are just stuck there and it's the same song.
And what's interesting is, have you ever heard Richard Sherman sing it the way it was written?
Up tempo, right?
Slow tempo, melody.
Slow tempo. You're right. It is up tempo,
and it's completely takes on a completely different feel. Would not make a good attraction the way it was written and that slow melody. I think some of their other songs, like Through the Eyes of Love, are not earworms. It's the catchy ones that they wrote for the Annette Funicello movies and the attraction. Yeah. But what about She's 16, She's Beautiful, and She's Mine? That's not really an earworm.
Yeah, Pineapple Princess. She called me Pineapple Princess.
But those were written for those teeny bopper beach movies, and that's what they were going for.
God, what's the other ridiculous? And I think it might be Hereditary, because my father used to tell me about a time when his younger sister was obsessed with Hayley Mills. And he would be like, I used to have to listen to this ridiculous song over and over. Let's get together. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And now that I know that the Sherman Brothers wrote that, I'm like, I get it. I absolutely get it.
The Tiki Rum.
Yep.
Not all of the Mary Poppins songs are that way, but some of them are. Mark Goax. What's up, buddy?
See, new because I'm old.
Oh, I knew that. Yeah, at least he admits it.
It is mostly the song for me. I think I'd be okay if the song were different. It's the same thing over and over and over and over and over again.
Do you prefer? So Rachel's comment, Carousel of Progress, which I absolutely love. Doing that on the Marceline and Magic Kingdom tour, Rachel was there, and doing it with the tour guide that tells you all the details of the Carousel of Progress, more than what we already know. Do you prefer Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow or Now Is the Time?
I like them both. I don't know whether or not. Maybe Now Is the Time.
Do you know why they changed it?
That it was, yes. You've told me.
I told you. Okay.
Yeah.
So, because originally it was, oh my God, it's Sarah. I hadn't seen Sarah in a long time. Yeah, it's really cool if you ever watch. If you ever watch Richard Sherman play It's a Small World, the way it was written and the way it was, it takes on a completely different feel. Hey, Brandy, how are you? So something I want to bring up while we got everybody here is if you go to the Disney Nerds Podcast Facebook page and go to the event section, we now have 2 of our events for November already in there. There will be a 3rd event on Friday night. We have the event for Thursday night, which is a paid event. It's an Epcot fireworks party. It's going to be $70 per adult over 21, $50 for anybody under 21, unless they're infant, below 3, then they're free. And it includes a 2-hour open bar and then a private viewing area for the fireworks. We have room for 50 people. It's going to be in the China Overlook area is where it will be. So we have room for 50 people. So if you're interested in joining us for this paid event, I would highly recommend. Originally, when we talked about this, I talked to Lisa, I talked to Ed. I'm like, oh my God, I hope we can get 25 people, which was the minimum. Now, after talking to a few people and getting it booked, I'm like, if people want to come to this event, they probably need to go ahead and RSVP, because I'm not saying I can guarantee it, but I don't think it's outside the realm of possibility that we get the 50 people and we have to turn some people away. So if you're interested and you want to go, please message us and let us know so we can put you on the RSVP list. Some people have already paid. Some people already sent over their $70. We have a couple other groups. My friend Brian from over at the Main Street Chronicles podcast, he's got a whole crew. I don't know how many people he's going to have with him. And then Nick Cotton from DVC Resale Market, him and some of his team are going to be coming. So if you're interested, I think it's going to be a really, really good time. $70 if you're 21 or older, includes 2-hour open bar with good high quality alcohol. And then there's a bunch of different beers, even non-alcoholic beers and ciders for Lisa. And then also we're going to have a specialty. We're going to have a specialty Disney Nerds podcast drink. And if you guys make sure you're in the Disney Nerds group, because I think we're going to do some type of poll or get ideas and then vote on what we should call the Disney Nerds podcast signature drink. That'll be a pre-made drink. We get to pick the color we want it to be, and we get to pick the name, and it'll be a pre-mixed drink that you can just walk up to the bar and order. $70, all that's included, gratuity and tax, all included. And then also we have, and look, we're hoping that the fireworks will be harmonious by then. they haven't set a definite date on that yet, but they said later this year. So this is mid-November. So I'm hoping that's late enough in the year that it will be harmonious, which will be fantastic. And then also the scavenger hunt, which is Saturday morning at Hollywood Studios. The scavenger hunt this year will take place in Galaxy's Edge and Toy Story Land. So go make sure you click on those events and tell us that you want to come. If you want to attend the paid event, message me or the podcast so we can get you on that RSVP list and get you paid, collect your money, make sure you get your spot. So we'll move on from that, but. Podcast Punch. Disney Nerds Podcast Punch. I like it. That may make some of the final list.
Sarah, when you get close to planning your trip, let me know. I'm 20 minutes away. Wouldn't mind meeting up with you. Nerd Punch. We were at Disney World last week and got to ride Rise.
Oh, it's so good.
It's so
good. I tell you what, if you're watching right now and you're in the comments, give us a thumbs up if you've had a chance to ride I don't even want to say ride.
Experience.
You've had a chance to experience Rise of the Resistance. If you have not, give us a thumbs down. And I just want to get a feel from the audience on who oh god, that's what it's going to be. The Disney Nerds Podcast Small World Punch.
That's it.
And we'll all drink it and sing It's a Small World for Lisa.
Guaranteed to lose my annual pass on that evening.
Oh, Brandy will be down on April 25th for 8 nights, Lisa. So Victoria has not seen it. Tina says it's amazing. Sarah says I've had a spreadsheet for months. Brandon Humble, I apologize for not knowing, but are you a huge Star Wars fan?
He's a huge Star Wars fan, and he's ridden Rise. I asked him secretly what he thought of you. Gave me the thumbs down, and I don't know why.
Yeah, he said he hasn't ridden it.
No, he has not.
God, if you're a Star Wars fan, there's two things you have to do. Go to Savi's and build a lightsaber.
Or be somebody's guest.
Or be somebody's guest if you don't want to drop the $200. I tell you what, give me 50 and you can be my guest and I'll go build another one.
You will, Brandy. I promise you.
Oh, you'll get it. Yeah. If you get up. That's my issue. My issue is always waking up in the morning.
Sarah, there's no spoiler. Trust me when I tell you this is no spoiler.
Yeah. I don't see anything that would, not enough to ruin it. There's things you'll see that you'd be like, okay.
But it's not the same thing.
No, it's not going to ruin it for you. You're not going to be on the attraction and go, see, I knew that was coming. It's not going to matter. It really is not going to matter.
Nope. Completely different.
You'll be fine, Brandon. If you get up and you're there, if you're in the parks with the official opening, you'll get a boarding pass. Yes, lightsaber building was a blast. Savi's workshop was fantastic. If you go to the Disney Nerds Podcast YouTube page, we have a video of the Savi's workshop experience where me and Sam and Ed built our lightsabers and Lisa was there filming. Jessica, yes, November 12th through the 14th is the weekend. There's really no Veterans Day weekend because Veterans Day is on a Wednesday, but it's the Wednesday the 11th is Veterans Day. So yes, the 12th through the 14th is the weekend after Veterans Day. So I'll actually be flying in probably Wednesday morning.
It doesn't matter what you see, Sarah. I promise you, it's
Not going to change. You're still going to love the experience regardless.
right.
Victoria, it's not really a movie. So, Brandy, so usually what we will do, Brandy, is take off, like we would go the Saturday before the meets and stay through the Sunday after, so the whole week. Unfortunately, my wife Kim could not take off the week of the meets because her work schedule, somebody else had picked it already. So my plan is to come alone, not alone, but alone in my room on Wednesday morning, which is Veterans Day. My job we're closed that day, and I'm gonna stay Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night at All Star Movies with the group rate, and then Friday night Kim is gonna join us. So Kim will be at the scavenger hunt. She'll miss the earlier meets, and then Sunday we're going to leave All Star Movies and check into Saratoga Springs, and we're going to be there the full week after the meets through the Saturday. So, all right. So Brandon says, I am a Star Wars fan, not a diehard. Can't wait to ride Smuggler's Run and Rise of the Resistance. Last trip was too quick. To beat a bunch of nerds. No time. I'm going to try in April.
You'll definitely enjoy it in April. I promise you. It's a great experience. They'll be down on Tuesday night. No, we're talking, Victoria, about the attraction, Rise of the Resistance, not Rise of Skywalker, the movie.
Yeah. So there's a lot of things going on in the attraction Rise of the Resistance.
Meanwhile, back at the ranch, Ed's still thinking up drink names.
I like it.
Not too far off from what he's like when we're in a chat.
I like where his head is. I'm not discouraging. Keep going, Ed.
He's just keeping chronicled for us.
Adi, so far I have Wednesday through Saturday night booked at the movies with the preferred room. Depending on flights, once flights come out, I am not. It is possible I could come in Tuesday night, depending on how the flights lay out. So I may come in Tuesday night and add one night to the stay and just be there Wednesday morning. Yes, I'm very excited. Actually, Brandy, my wife is look, she fully supports and loves the podcast stuff and all that stuff. But when we do these meetups, it's work. It's a lot of fun, but it's a lot of work too. And my wife helps out tremendously with that. So it's going to be kind of nice that after the meetups are over, me and her will kind of have a week just to be on vacation. So it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yes, it is, Michelle. It opened up in February.
Michelle, I have a couple extra vacation days that Kim doesn't have, and I floated the idea to her that maybe I'll go to Disneyland, and she shot that down.
Like a fart in a spacesuit.
Yeah, she said.
Didn't quite go so well.
She said, but I've never been to Disneyland. I said, you don't even want to be in a plane that long.
Does she want to be in a car that long?
There's no way I'm taking the time to drive that far. She better take a Valium and suck it up. She better suck up a 3-hour flight because I'm not driving 2 weeks across the country.
3-hour flight was what I used to do from Massachusetts. So
it may be 4 from here to Disneyland. Yes, Brandon, I'm very excited about that because I've not stayed. Well, we're going in June. Me and my wife are going in June for a week, and I'll be staying at Saratoga. So it'll be but I'm excited. I've never stayed at Saratoga. It's my home resort on my brand new DVC, my shiny new DVC contract.
I like Saratoga.
I'm very excited about it.
Nonetheless, it's like the home to one of my favorite golf courses on property. So
How much is it? I'm gonna have to look at that. How much it costs to fly golf clubs
versus how much it costs to rent them.
versus how much it costs.
Anything to fly them. They're checked luggage.
So I just have to buy. So if I'm flying Southwest, I just have to buy like a cover, the hard case that the
hard case. There's I used to have a soft case for mine.
So it just counts as one bag.
Yeah.
With Southwest.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we could do that, Lisa.
See, there you go. Yeah, Ed's heading down in June. I'm kind of excited about that.
Ed's coming in. Yeah, Ed's coming in for the weekend while me and Kim are there. Hey, Sandra, how are you? Brandy, we've done. I love it. And it's going to be fun to go and show my own card and get up there. But Sam and Jennifer Kaufman are DVC members, and so I've been up to Top of the World quite a few times, and it's fantastic. So it's really going to be cool to be staying there, at my DVC resort and be able to go up there.
Kim does need to do the spa while at Saratoga. That pool.
Maybe if she'd approved that Disneyland trip, maybe it'd be a spa package in it for her.
Had dinner at Topolino's. I know.
We saw that.
I really need to piece together whether or not that's worth it for me. So you're saying it's good, and I always trust your judgment, but we'll see.
Oh, Bill. Bill says anything more than a putter is overkill.
It is for Bill.
For Fantasia Gardens, yes. I would say that's true. I am very, very excited to go to the Top of the World and show my DVC card, which I don't even, because I bought resale, I don't even have really like the blue card, the card that they give you. They tell you just to screenshot it on your phone. But I am very excited to go show my DVC membership card and go take Lisa up to the Top of the World and get a monorail green or whatever, one of those fancy drinks up there.
Look at Henry. I will see you in 2 weeks, Henry. I can't wait. Too bad Tiffany's not going to be in town.
Kim wants a spa day, so I feel like there's a negotiation about to happen about a Disneyland trip for a spa day.
I don't know whether or not that's the give and take for that. I don't know whether or not it's the same.
I mean, the other thing is that I could do the Disneyland trip and then tell Kim if I think it's worth it for her to fly 4 hours to go do it.
Fair enough. See you later, Ed.
All right, Ed. Thank you for joining, buddy. Bill, that windmill gets me. God damn it. Oh.
You got to go to Fantasia Gardens where they have sand traps and mini golf.
This is why we keep Bill around.
Is it 87 days?
They're going in May. June.
Oh, okay.
May.
Might have to get together for a meal there.
If you want to get Adi somewhere, you just got to say ice cream.
It's right. That's true. That's true. Kim gets 3 spa days for a Disneyland trip. Absolutely.
As long as Rachel's taking her.
Taking her with your credit card. I think
no, Rachel. Look, Rachel, that could be a write-off for your travel agency. Take Kim to the spa. Think about the taxes you'll save.
Taking care of clients. Is that how that works?
So we had one other topic we wanted to talk about. Lisa was telling me the other day that just recently she went back and started watching all So you're going in order? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, but not in chronological order of
Yeah.
how the movies are, but I went to Disney Plus and I started poking around and I went to Marvel. And down at the very bottom, if you go to Marvel and you go all the way to the bottom, it says Marvel through the decades. So it's the release of every cartoon or whatever, and it's in order. So you laughing at Christine?
Yes. I'm very excited about the castle. I really am. I don't think it's gonna ruin it. I don't think this is birthday cake castle territory.
No, it's not gonna be. It's gonna be.
It's a tweak. I don't think it's. Yeah. All right. So Marvel through the years.
So you go to Marvel through the years, and you start at the first. I started at the first movie, which would be Iron Man.
Right.
And then Iron Man 2, and tonight was Captain America: First Avenger.
One of my favorites.
Not my favorite. I like Winter Soldier better.
Man, Winter Soldier may be the best Marvel MCU movie.
Yeah.
Winter Soldier and Civil War are both fantastic movies.
Castle will be fine, Christine, I promise.
Christine, I know a great travel agent that can help you with those trips. You should reach out. Sometimes there's perks to booking with the official travel agent of the Disney Nerds podcast.
So Civil War is Rachel's favorite more than Endgame? Hold on. That was inadvertent. I don't want to see anybody agree with Jimmy.
Jessica seems to be on my side.
A lot.
Quite often. And I appreciate it, Jessica, because I don't get enough love. Everybody seems to go Lisa's side. Even my wife.
Well, that's how we roll.
I know. It's like a freaking club.
I am.
Correct.
Going for Easter. Yeah, that changes everything. So I decided to just go back to the beginning. It had been over a decade since I had seen Iron Man. I had actually completely forgot that Terrence Howard played Rhodey in the first Iron Man before they switched over to
Don Cheadle.
Don Cheadle, thank you.
I really like Terrence Howard, but I really also like Don Cheadle. So who do you like better?
I like Don Cheadle better.
Yeah.
I do.
Don Cheadle's got a little better comic relief with him. Terrence Howard's character was a little more serious than Don Cheadle's.
It was, yeah. I mean, look, you saw him in Iron Man. He does look at the suit and go, "I'll get to you." It's not like you do know that he's gonna eventually get to that suit.
Sure.
Need to watch all the Star Wars movies. I look at Disney Plus is the place to be when it comes to stuff like that.
Absolutely. I just finished Rebels. Chris Recklon says Terrence Howard always seems like he's either drunk or hungover. Maybe he is always drunk or hungover. Maybe he goes from one to the other.
That's exactly how that works, evidently. Yeah, I do agree. I like Don Cheadle better. I think it was certainly a better pick for the role. I didn't realize, and Jimmy had said it to me, I didn't realize it was a thing back then when they went to Don Cheadle and away from Terrence Howard. And not that he certainly has landed on his feet with Empire, but I didn't realize it was a thing.
He's also the dad in Princess and the Frog.
Yes, he is.
I mean, it's not a very big role because, he ends up passing away, but
right.
He does the voice for the dad in Princess and the Frog. So that movie, Iron Man, that was their first. Look, they threw all their they put all the chips in. Marvel put all the chips in and got away from, and there's a great documentary on this, But they put all the chips in and went from licensing out their movies like Spider-Man and X-Men and the Fantastic Four. And they said, we're going to start doing our own movies. And we're going to make these movies with basically B characters. Hey, Marianne, how are you? Thanks for joining. Our friend Ed, who's one of the co-hosts of the Disney Nerds podcast, lives right outside of Philly in King of Prussia.
Yep.
So I don't know if you're that same direction outside of Philly, but we have quite a few people in the Philly area.
Mm-hmm.
So they put all their chips in with Iron Man, and they wasn't sure how it was going to turn out. And they used, like, Iron Man was not, and I didn't know this because as much of a Marvel Cinematic Universe fan I am, and how much I love the Marvel characters now, I mean, I was somewhat familiar with them growing up, but I was not like a big comic book nerd.
No.
But if you watch this documentary, like Iron Man, that was like he's like a B character.
This documentary's on there.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's like the making of the universe or something to that effect.
And it's amazing. It's amazing that they took these characters that were not known. So much so, like Captain America was fairly well known, but eventually he was an older character in the beginning, during wartime, and but so he didn't, not the same status as some of the characters they had originally licensed out, like Spider-Man and X-Men and the Fantastic Four. And then they even went further than that and went with like C characters like the Guardians of the Galaxy, and had success with those characters. And then at that point, people were like, yeah, they can just do like Marvel Cinematic Universe, the Marvel Studios can just do no wrong. And it was all about having the right people in there that understood the fandom and understood how to make those movies connect with the people who wanted to see them.
And I think that they found the perfect actors to play the characters.
Oh, for sure. The casting of those were very, very good. But I think that's part of having the right people in those executive positions and understanding those characters so well on who should play them. And let's just say thank God for Jon Favreau.
Right.
Because without him, none of these, and he's not the only one, but I mean, without Jon Favreau, I mean, he made all the Iron Man movies, and he's done so much more for Disney. I mean,
I just want to say, like, I feel like he really got the ball rolling.
Sure.
With the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But the other side of that is I think he's starting to turn the Star Wars universe on its edge with The Mandalorian. What do we got?
Infinity Wars and Spider-Man Far From Home are not on Disney, but I think Homecoming is on Netflix, I believe, because that's not a Disney-owned movie.
Right.
Infinity Wars may not be on there now, but it will be eventually, because they probably still have a contract with Netflix or somebody else that's holding it. Have you seen?
Wait until they open up that roller coaster. It's going to have that soundtrack. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah. Oh, Guardians of the Galaxy is amazing. The way they tied them in and tied all these characters and these big names and brought them all together is just, if you have not watched that documentary, I highly recommend it.
And I'm watching Iron Man the other day, and I'm like, boy, they really laid the groundwork for this. Like, this is really, I feel like they really started right at the beginning, laying the groundwork.
They sure did. That probably comes a lot from comic book writing.
Right.
That they don't close it out. They leave it open for the next comic book. You know what I mean? Like you don't end a comic book. You just end that you end it, but you leave it open for the next book because there's another book coming in the series.
Right. And look at it, Iron Man 2 and I was like, God, I want to see what the end credits are, just because every Marvel movie's had those end credits, and there they are at the end credits, and
the after credit scenes, yes.
the after credit scenes, and it's Agent Coulson, and he's in New Mexico, and I went, oh, Thor. That's where we're going with this. Okay.
Yep.
So it really does. They do a really good job of tying it all together right onto the next one.
Have you seen Inhumans?
I have not. And I've watched, so even when we talk about Marvel and the whole timeline, I've watched Daredevil, and the one series that I haven't seen, and I'm kind of really happy that it's on Disney Plus, because when I get to it, I will watch it, is Agent Carter.
Oh, Agent Carter's fantastic.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
Very good. It tells you how they formed Shield.
Shield, yeah.
Fantastic. I love her. Haley, what's her name? Haley.
It's not Haley Mills.
Atwell. Haley Atwell. She is amazing. I love her. Infinity War should be on by June. Yeah, a lot of time. There's no way you could watch all those movies by June.
Challenge accepted.
Oh, Agent Carter's fantastic. Inhumans is really good too, if you want a better understanding of the Inhumans.
And I like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. We get to a point where, like, I was thinking about it, when you get to the first Avengers movie, which is where I started paying attention to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. That's where I started paying attention, because I had started watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and I thought, well, I should really go back and watch these movies. Yes, but you're not watching them, Rachel. You're working and watching them.
Right.
It's a little different. So I was watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and there's a tie there. It ties into each of the movies as they are released.
Oh yeah. If you watch them, and there is a list somewhere that tells you the order to watch them, the movies, including the episodes of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Watch this episode and this episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Because you're right. After Thor, The Dark World.
Yep.
Dark World is where they come to the Earth and destroy a bunch of stuff. And stuff gets left behind. There was an episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. right after that where they're in there cleaning up the mess from the big battle in Thor. Dark.
Well, they have the piece to Loki's staff.
Yeah.
In one of them, and it does all tie together, and then you're watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and they're working on this special project, and you have no idea what the special project is, and then you find out what the special project is at the end of the Avengers movie. So yeah, it definitely all ties together. And there is a website. There are plenty of websites. I wrote a blog a long time ago for the Disney Nerds podcast on how to watch them and what order to watch them in, and that was a long time ago.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. And I would say the same thing for, well, me and Ed had this discussion. I think Disney has done and it's not just Disney, but since the acquisition of Marvel, I think they did a much better job of managing and letting Marvel be what it is than they did with Star Wars.
What do you mean?
I think I don't think they didn't do a good job of getting the right people involved. Lucasfilms, I guess, didn't, but I guess that's under the direction of Disney for these last three movies. I think the last one was the best of the three. The Rise of Skywalker, I think, is better than The Force Awakens or The Last Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
And I think all three are good movies. Don't get me wrong. I didn't dislike any of them. But I think they all have some issues. And I think under Disney, Marvel Studios was on the right path already. Disney bought them and said, here's a bunch of money. Go go make some movies. And that's what they did, and it's amazing. I don't know if they were as successful with Star Wars.
No,
and maybe that's and in the movies they're great, but I'm just talking about just how well they are done. I will also say that I think the Marvel fan base is not as toxic as the Star Wars fan base.
I just want to note that I wrote this blog 4 years ago. Think about how many movies have come out in 4 years.
Now I want to go read the blog.
I appreciate that. I put a lot of work into that blog, actually.
Maybe you should rewrite it. Not rewrite it, but take it, repost it with some
the updated
new editorial to it too.
Yeah, that was when I started watching Marvel, and I thought, boy, I really needed a tutorial on this. Let me try to put something together for somebody else.
So everybody in the comments, please tell us who your favorite Marvel character is. And we're talking MCU. So no X-Men or Fantastic Four. But it can be a superhero or a villain, because I know a lot of people like Loki. I'm very excited about the Loki show coming for Disney Plus.
Yes.
And I'm very excited for WandaVision, which is an interesting idea that they have for the concept of that. So who is your favorite Marvel Cinematic Universe character? Probably more than one person on here could guess mine.
Yes, I could.
We got a Thor, Jennifer. Kimberly says Captain Marvel. So Stark, which one?
Right.
Spidey, Thor. You can't pick more than one, Kim. Groot's a great one. I don't know how. That's a tough one to be your favorite, though.
Hold on. Can you pick your own family members?
Michelle may be my only family member that is nerdy as I am. Oh no, Ashlyn's.
You just said you couldn't pick more than one person, and Rachel busts out 3.
Yeah. Yeah, I think everybody knows mine's Captain America. Team Cap all the way. Anybody else? Tony Stark. Okay. Gotta specify, dude. There's more than one Stark. Captain America and Gamora. I'm surprised. I'm actually surprised nobody said Loki.
No, I'm not. It's not Loki for me.
Loki's a great character, though. And Tom Hiddleston.
I know it.
Tom Hiddleston does a fantastic job.
I love him as an actor. For sure, for certain, I love Tom Hiddleston as an actor.
What about Chris Evans?
I think Chris Evans is phenomenal.
He's from your neck of the woods.
Yes, he does park his car.
But also, I mean, he was also Fantastic Four. He was the Human Torch.
Yep.
And he was Captain America. So, wow. Ryan Reynolds, Green Lantern, and
Daredevil.
No, not Daredevil. Deadpool.
Deadpool. Thank you. I do love Deadpool.
Oh, interesting. Bill says he loves Tony Stark, but he was on Team Cap during Civil War.
I love Nick Fury.
Nick Fury is a great character. Coulson. Coulson is a wonderful character.
I love Agent Coulson. I love Clark Gregg. There's not much he does that I don't like.
Married to Jennifer Grey.
Yes, he is.
God, did she get better with age?
She got better with a nose job, but that's beside the point.
True, but she's prettier now than she was. Like, I did not think she was that cute.
There's the answer.
Oh,
I love Doctor Strange.
That's a very, yes. That's good to know, Jessica. I didn't know that.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, Doctor Strange, that's a great movie. So different than the rest of them. I mean, they all have their different spins, right? But Doctor Strange is...
I think I saw Doctor Strange 3 times in the movie theater. I liked it that much.
It's really good. What's the... What's her name?
The
White Witch from the Chronicles of Narnia.
You lost me. You talking about the redhead?
No, the bald,
Yes. So Tilda Swanson.
Hilda Swinton.
Tilda.
Tilda Swinton, huh?
Swanson. Swinton. Whatever.
You ever seen Chronicles of Narnia? That's a Disney movie.
There are quite a few Disney movies I've never seen.
I know, that's a fantastic one.
Yeah, I've read the books. I've never seen the movies.
Tilda Swinton. She's the White Witch in Narnia. She's also plays one of my favorite movies. You know, I don't know if it's Marvel or not. She plays Gabriel, the angel, in Constantine.
Oh.
You ever seen that with Keanu Reeves?
Yes.
That's a comic book movie. But it's different. It's not a superhero movie like, you know, the ones we were talking about. But so is Blade. Blade is a comic book movie.
Tilda Swinton. Okay. Love Chronicles of Narnia. Yeah, I'm lost on that one. Just the ancient one.
I think Disney produced 2 of them. Yeah, she's the ancient one in Doctor Strange. Yes. Disney produced 2 of them. They produced the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, which is the first one.
Yep.
And then they also did the second one, and then they let it go, and another company, another movie producer, picked up the third one. Blade is absolutely based upon a comic book, by the way.
We're starting to dance into realms that I'm not even familiar with.
Blade, the comic. Prince Caspian was the second one.
Of what?
The Narnia, the Chronicles.
Narnia, okay.
And then
Narnia was like the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, Prince Caspian, and what?
Then the Voyage of the Dawn Treader, I believe.
I'm
not 100% sure.
I definitely need to take a look at Disney Plus and figure out there's a lot that I haven't seen. Once you go and search movies and look at movies A through Z, first of all, there are movies on there that kind of make me giggle because I haven't seen them first of all, I haven't seen them in forever. Second of all, movies that I didn't even think Disney owned. But I suppose with the purchase that, there's way more that they own than I ever thought. One of the things I just started over again, which I thought was really funny, is Boy Meets World, which is probably one of my favorite shows of all time, and it's something I missed when it originally aired.
So I just looked up because I was just curious because I had seen this in this documentary that me and you were just referring to, the Marvel documentary. So I looked up the Wikipedia. Blade is a 1998 American superhero horror film directed by Stephen Norrington and written by David S. Goyer, based on the Marvel comic superhero of the same name. It is the first part of the Blade film series. So yes, it is based upon a comic book. Or the character is based upon a comic book character. I don't know if the whole plot is based upon the character Blade was created in 1973 for Marvel Comics by writer Marv Wolfman and artist Gene Colan as a supporting character in the 70s comic The Tomb of Dracula. So there you go. It came from The Tomb of Dracula in the 70s is where he's a comic book person. Wandy Wexler Wilson.
So it drives me crazy when Disney Plus is something that's coming soon, but it's 6 months away. Listen, that's like, they're a movie making company. So I've seen previews in movies that aren't coming for another year.
Have you?
I watched it with the kids. I watched Gummy Bears with the kids. They liked it.
Are you still doing Clone Wars?
I've stepped away from it. What I just need to do is jump ahead.
Rebels, God. Rebels actually made me cry. Which is not tough to do. I mean, making Jimmy cry watching a movie is not tough to do, and it does not necessarily have to be said. But Rebels, there was parts in Rebels that absolutely made me cry.
Yeah, we watched Free Solo on Nat Geo. Yeah, that's great. You know what I started watching the other day as part of the Nat Geo series was Drained. And I watched a whole thing on Alcatraz and people that have escaped or they've said were washed out to sea, and they drain San Francisco Bay to show you why those waters are so crazy.
Huh.
It's really good.
Have you watched the World According to Jeff Goldblum?
Yes.
I love him.
Yep. Tattoos, ice cream, jeans. I've seen them all.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
He is fantastic. I want to meet him. Kim thinks it's funny that cartoons make me cry.
I know people that commercials make them cry.
It has nothing to do with whether or not
it matters what it is.
I was about to say, does it really matter? Like, it's about the story, right? Does it matter if it's a cartoon or it's live action? It doesn't really matter. The story is the story. Kim has no heart because all she watches is like crime drama, like mass murder, crazy stuff. That's all she watches
too. And I think Angela watches it just as a gentle reminder that if I mess up at any point, she knows exactly how
to kill you and make your body disappear
and get away with it.
Right.
Drained is awesome. I tripped over it one day and I was like, wow, this show is fantastic. If you have a chance to watch it, it's really good.
I also highly, highly recommend Waking Sleeping Beauty. If you're a Disney fan, Waking Sleeping Beauty, as well as The Boys, which is about the Sherman Brothers.
Talk about things that make you cry.
Oh, that's
like an ugly cry. That wasn't even like a tear. That's an ugly
I don't want to. I almost like I had like during Rebels, like I bawled a little bit. The short film series in Epcot makes me cry every time. Are the Pixar shorts?
Oh, maybe that's what she's referring to.
Michelle, the Pixar shorts, like in the Imagination Pavilion. There's some good ones in there, but I've never gone in there and watched it because I'd seen all the ones that they show in there.
Don't ask.
Just stay out of it. You don't want to know them. Just keep your distance, Chris, because
some scary people.
A whole different level of crazy.
That's right. Some scary people.
The Imagineering story is great. A Day in Disney is great. The A Day in Disney shorts are great. Yeah. Oh, Bill says he wants more docus on the parks beyond the Imagineering. Yes, the ex-Captain EO spot. Caitlin loved. You remember for a short time, they brought Captain EO back to the theater?
Yes. Not that I ever saw it. I think that was a stretch of time I wasn't at Disney.
What?
Disney. Yeah.
So you've never seen Captain EO?
Oh, I saw it in its first run.
In the first. You haven't seen it since. Gotcha. You haven't seen it since it's come in the little time it was there, because it was like for a year. Caitlin got to see it, and she loved Captain EO. She had a Captain EO shirt, and Caitlin's hard to please when it comes to Disney. She likes to be I don't think she's anti-Disney, but she doesn't buy she doesn't buy Dad's line that it's the greatest place ever. I'm thinking it's 37 today. I did not know that.
Doesn't look a day over 36.
Yeah, Captain EO is fantastic. Caitlin really enjoyed it. We bought her a shirt that had like the little emblem. It's like it's like a leaf almost, but it's like different colors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think it's on his shirt when he takes his jacket off, and it glows, and that's how he kills the. Well, he didn't kill her. He turns her back to human. Nobody ever told me about the Phineas and Ferb Star Wars movie.
I didn't know about the
Star Wars. Yeah. So there's a Phineas and Ferb. Hold on, I think I'm on somebody else's Disney Plus. Oh yeah, I'm on my godchild's Disney Plus. I'm like, I don't watch Gravity Falls.
But you should. If you don't, you should. Gravity Falls is phenomenal.
Disney's Phineas and Ferb Star Wars. Yeah, there's a whole show. There's an hour-long movie.
Have a good night, Rachel. I just I put a mile in before I did the show. So get at it early, Sunshine.
It did. You know what, Chris? It's true. They had so many people involved in Captain EO. It was like Francis Ford Coppola and was it George Lucas?
Was it? Might have been George Lucas.
What's on Disney Plus, Kim? We've been talking about like 15 different things. You got to be more specific.
Well, there's a little bit of a lag there.
Yeah.
Lucas.
Yeah, Lucas was involved. It was directed by Francis Ford Coppola, and the screenplay was by George Lucas and Francis Ford Coppola and Rusty Limerand. Release date September 12th, 1986. Which would have been the year I went to Disney for the first time. Phineas and Ferb aren't worth speaking.
Your mouth. Phineas and Ferb
are fantastic. Fantastic.
Phineas and Ferb are great.
Oh yeah, it's on. Yes, Phineas and Ferb Star Wars is on Disney Plus. I started watching it the other day, and I was about to go to bed. I'm like, I can't start now because it's an hour, and I won't turn it off. I love Phineas and Ferb.
That show's hysterical.
It's hilarious. And the game, and I want to spend some time just doing the game.
Too late for that.
Oh, it's still there. It's not on the app anymore. When I was in Mexico in January, the thing popped up. So did it just pop up intermittently?
It's going to DuckTales. Woo!
Ah, shit.
Yep. It was really good. The kids played it. I liked playing it in Great Britain. They really, you get a ping pong ball and you bring it over and you put something else different. But yeah, no, it's going to DuckTales.
I missed that news.
Where's Perry?
We're trying to revive the DuckTales and their ugly DuckTales. They're not even the cute original DuckTales. Yeah, that's original DuckTales there.
Original DuckTales.
I really don't like the new animation.
At all. Although I do like Webby. So there's
not a fan. All right, so we're a little over an hour. Thank you guys for joining. Remember, if you're interested in coming to the Disney Nerds Podcast meets, check out the events section of the Disney Nerds Podcast Facebook page. Let us know. Let us know if you want to come. Chris, that is true, brother. Epcot is changing rapidly. Bill, you lost your right to speak when you talk bad about Phineas and Ferb. Is there a way we can just mute Bill?
No.
I can hide his comment. I don't have to display it. What's this button do? Oh, delete comment. Yeah, delete his comment. That's it. Delete your comment.
Doctor Who is Uncle Scrooge. That's why I like this version, because I really love hearing David Tennant.
Oh, I like David Tennant.
He's Uncle Scrooge.
Is he really? I didn't know that.
He's really good.
Best villain in the Marvel Defender series. All the Netflix, like the Defender series, Jessica Jones, Daredevil, all the Iron Fist. David Tennant's character was so good in that.
Oh, he was so evil in Jessica Jones. Evil.
So he's such a great villain. All right, guys. Peace out. Bonne nuit, les gens. Good night, people.
So long, everybody.